people enjoy?
Just saying, why do black people like Newport so much? And a black person actually getting ready to answer this. It's terrible on all ends.
I don't think it is.
Well, I don't think it is either, because we have a new.
It's like if you start asking me about spaghetti, I'm not gonna get offended. If you start asking me about Italian food and why are Italian people so loud, I'm not gonna get.
So this was basically like less risk, zero risk.
And it probably would have been different too, because there was no footage to prepare for you, right? Like the only footage that he could prepare was watching you fight in MMA.
Yes, he was.
There it is. Why are you dancing in front of him?
When we started fight, when the referee said, "Okay, you guys go to your corner," he said, "Let me take you to school." So that was the dancing was like, I think you're a bad professor, you're a bad teacher. That was the only reason why I did that.
He's a funny guy, man.
He's funny. He's very entertaining.
Yeah, he's so entertaining.
Like,
he's so entertaining.
He's just a show guy.
Yeah.
That's happened to really like.
You were asking me about the menthol cigarettes.
Oh, that's right.
And the answer is, we value strength in product. So there's this whole thing with liquor and malt liquor and the difference between the two, and one is richer and stronger.
The more potent version.
Right. And as a people, we tend to go with those products.
Things that are stronger. That makes sense.
Right. Like before, things were called concentrate.
Get into the UFC, and then in a matter of a few short years, become the UFC heavyweight champion. For young fighters, that's like that guy did it. Like he did it. He came from where I came from. I can do it now. Once someone has done it, it makes it more accessible, at least mentally, to a lot of people.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's the fundamental idea about my foundation. The reason why I did a foundation, for me, it was just so not only those kids can have access in the gym, which is something that me growing up, I was just dreaming about it. The only gym that I have seen until I was 22 was the gym that I saw, whether in my dream or in the TV. I never see a real gym, even though I always want to do combat sport. But I thought like if you build like nice gym, not only those kids have access, you make them.
And every time we step in and fuck with it, it goes haywire.
Right.
Every time human beings do it.
Predictably haywire.
Haywire.
Right.
Haywire.
Right. But that's part of the benefits of free will.
Mm-hmm.
Is you really can jump into a volcano, dude.
Yeah. Haywire.
Full of talent.
What is the scene like in Africa right now in terms of like what are the local promotions and how many of them are there, and how many young talented fighters do you see that are coming out of there that could eventually come over to the PFL or the UFC or Bellator or ONE FC or any of the large organizations?
Okay. So you asked me the question like many Americans, what is the scene in Africa?
In the different countries.
Africa is 52 countries.
Right.
And I never been in 5 of them.
So I know South Africa has a large scene. You know, obviously Dricus du Plessis from South Africa. There's a lot of good fighters from South Africa. They have an organization
that I think is EFC, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Nigeria, they've been doing good. They also have I think it's African Knockout that Usman Kamaru is part of.
Right.
There are also some regional organization.
I think people, for the most part, are lazy if you give them an opportunity to be lazy.
I feel no.
It's hard to be disciplined, especially if you don't have examples of other disciplined people around you.
You know, some people might just have been educated, keep going to school because they choose school over work. That's true. And some people choose work over school.
That's true as well, yeah.
And then you go to school, and after being graduated or have your PhD, and then you're like, oh, he's educated, he's this. In fact, you were running away from a job.
I'm sure that's educators. That's the problem with our universities. Those people wind up teaching.
At the end of the day, yes, you are educated, but in reality, you are lazy. If you have a job that is gonna wear suit and act like a boss every day.
Everybody, even though John Jones is the champion now, everybody's like, yeah, but you didn't win the title against the champion. And you were the most compelling fight in the heavyweight division, for sure, for John Jones.
That's what I wish. But, in these days, this takes a lot more than what I want or what I wish.
Right. There's a lot going on.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
So tell me, what is the status of your deal with the PFL now? So how does that work?
It's working pretty good. We have a good relationship. I have some fight. Again, I will be fighting by the end of the year. And then,
do you know who you're fighting?
I think he's the guy.
Yeah. That's the guy that knocked out Ryan Bailey.
Yeah.
He's dangerous. That guy's good. He's legit.
I've been telling people about this guy.
And you have a collection of Half-Life 2, Team Fortress 2, and Forza. I'm like, okay.
This is like putting the Beatles' greatest hits on a top album. You know, it's not fair.
Throwing a free Michael Jackson album on that. Too.
Yeah, exactly. You know,
and I'm like, oh, okay. I guess it's like.
But we understood this 15, 20, 25 years ago. We understood while watching Tron or while watching Cyborg, we understood that there was just this small line medically that needed to be crossed in order for us to be able to do these things.
Yeah.
Like if you can hook a battery up to an octopus and make it go like this, you're halfway there.
Yeah.
Why? Because this is a machine that we have.
It's a biological machine.
Right. Once you understand it, you understand it.
But what I really don't want to do is to wake up, feel like I have it. Oh, I'm excited. Oh, today is a sparring day. I'm going to get there. Whether I'm gonna beat somebody up or they're gonna beat me up, either way, I'm excited.
Right.
If I still have that, I keep going.
Right.
But as soon as I don't have that, even if I'm not 40 yet, I think it's a sign, it's a call out.
Yeah, well, that's intelligent. That's smart. That's the way you phrased it. I like the way you phrased it. Leave the sport before the sport leaves you.
Yeah, that's
because we've all seen guys who hung around too long.
I would still always do the sport. I would never really leave the sport, but the competition at that level, you need to be ready. You need to be into it. You need to want to be there. You don't just want to do it because I have to. No, you don't go play with punches because you have to. No.
Right.
Yeah. So that's what made the carrier of great importance, because he was able to do things that were magical in nature, like go somewhere and get right back. You know what I mean?
So, that thing on the wrist was a compass?
A timekeeping
compass.
But terrible is subjective to nothing. So they have this oil like cannabis that is for having seizures.
Right. Yeah, it's incredible. Get into the UFC and then in a matter of a few short years become the UFC heavyweight champion. For young fighters, that's like that guy did it. He did it. He came from where I came from. I can do it now. Once someone has done it, it makes it more accessible, at least mentally, to a lot of people.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's the fundamental idea about my foundation. The reason why I did a foundation, for me, it was just so not only those kids can have access in the gym, which is something that me growing up, I was just dreaming about it. The only gym that I have seen until I was 22 was the gym that I saw, whether in my dream or in the TV. I never see a real gym, even though I always want to do combat sport. But I thought like if you build like nice gym, not only those kids have access, he make them.
I mean, think about what we've done to wildlife. The craziest thing in this country, especially right here, is pigs. Bro, wild pigs are everywhere, and there's so many of them. I went to a friend of mine's farm, or well, it's like a ranch, to hunt wild pigs, and you just hear them like Lord of the Rings characters in the bushes. And there's 150 of them near you, 250 of them, thousands on the ranch. They're all over the place, and they have 3 litters a year. And they start having litters when they're 6 months old. They just pump out piglets. Let's go.
You can tell they're not delicious.
Yeah,
Should we send someone to go get it? We could
No.
do the demo tonight.
that would be interesting.
Maybe I'll drive back with an arrow sticking out of my car.
I bet I could get in there.
Okay, I'll bet you can.
Really?
Yeah, I'll bet you $1.
Damn. I'm like, damn.
I think
wish
if you have a crossbow that's with enough force, you might a crossbow.
The thing about a
might
crossbow
get
is the
through.
bolt, even though it's very fast, it's not going to be nearly as heavy. You won't have as many grains.
You can make a heavy crossbow bolt.
You could,
Yeah.
yeah, but generally, crossbow bolts are considerably lighter. They're much smaller, you know, and they're much faster. They're moving at like 400, 500 feet per second, easy.
Yeah, I mean the thing that matters is kind of the energy per unit area. So so interesting, like a 9 mil or a 45, which is basically sort of a 10 mil. The 45 is. They're roughly the same, but the 45 actually is slightly worse penetration than a 9 mil.
You know what I just realized? I do have some broadheads. And I have a less powerful bow, but I have an 80-pound bow.
Go
back
for it.
there. I think we should do it.
For 6 years, you've been building this internal tool. Basically been the key to how you've decided thumbnail is. Why are you giving away all your secrets now?
These are like really good, and it would be kind of cool if other people could use them.
What's the biggest brand deal you've said no to?
I don't usually talk about this stuff publicly, but
I analyzed your past 50 videos. Can I put you on the hot seat and do a live experiment?
I'll spend $120 million on content this year, buying private island. We're building a city.